July 4th. Today I missed my flight to Lukla, where I was supposed to begin my hike to Everest Base Camp. Rather so, it was the flight, or the weather that missed us. From the onset of my travels, I've been waiting. Waiting for the next destination, waiting for the next flight, waiting for good weather to fly. In an impoverished country like Nepal, it doesn't seem fitting to be waiting this much. Its people are in a mechanical trance where they're perpetually moving through the streets, getting to the next place to work. And that's all the people know. Crowded roads, non-stop rain, and a devout faith that they can harness good karma from praying daily and to have a better life in the rebirth. Religion is indisputably the sole underlying to the people's ability to withstand all this suffering. Not that they've seen any better. But it's scary to see the younger generation have come closer to abandoning the faith in Buddha and have begun to indulge in first world expedient tendencies. On a single street, you can see teenage delinquents chain smoking and jabbing each other in the jaw, while others watch and film to post the scene on TikTok and Facebook. Behind them, you might see a rebuilt temple with 20 middle-aged men, hopefully optimistic, sitting in a circle meditating for 2 hours. Nepal seems rather reminiscent to the look of China 30 years ago, but enclosed in its wide mountain range and frequent earthquakes, Nepal asks the geography to expand and industrialize the same way China did. Still, on the streets, exposed power lines flow in tangled bundles as people sweep litter all across the street and add by spitting into the gutter. Roads are unpaved and there is no such thing as traffic control or regulation. With its long rule of monarchs and religion, Nepal struggles to transition into a first world liberal democracy. The people have far too much to worry about than politics and social justice. Despite so, the government still fails to implement the basic policy to assist the country's development in transportation, education, and healthcare. In the coming decades, or possibly for the next millennia, the country may never change and stay an agricultural cramped space that extracts snippets of the globalized north. Even if it may never change, the people will be waiting, like they've been doing for the last 2,000 years, believing in a better future. Maybe I will too. July 17th, the conclusion of my Annapurna Base Camp trek. I once held the belief that I would rather live as a starving African child than be in the current society I lived in. Simpler problems, more direct solutions, and a whole slew of guidance to those societies more developed than yours. Pain is relative. Pain too is the same everywhere you are. The problem is just how petty the pain is, but no matter how petty the pain is, it is equally felt by the victim. In a way, I hope to find purpose in suffering, its pure and dreadful form. By trekking for 8 days straight in the Annapurna mountain range, I believe I could come to some greater finding, resolve some deeper inner nihilism, and emerge ready to live. The opposite happened. Subjecting myself to purposeless pain for days on end only made me increasingly depressed about our state of being. It made me realize that I can no longer find joy or purpose in the sad suffering of underdeveloped countries or so underdeveloped peoples. Maslow made a triangle, and sitting at the top, struggling at the bottom rung only feels like a waste of time when I could be at the summit reaching for the sky. Like all artists in their formative years, they become addicted to creation. It's a pretentious purpose that grows in them that flavors the rest of the world as bland. Art becomes the sole impactful purpose in the world. Art becomes the only suffering worth pursuing. I'd once wanted to learn more about the world, to explore all its societies and mysteries. Now that exploration seems incredibly mundane, the only world I want to explore is the one inside my head. I only desire to twist my neurons into juicing out more possibilities, into synthesizing and formulating what I already know. I'm not even proficient in the society I'm in now. What's the point in having more?